Just because something is common, it doesn't make it normal. And it doesn't make it so that we have to live with it. So get these stats. 50% of older women suffer from pelvic organ prolapse. 1 out of 3 has painful intimacy. 49% experience leaking. It is common. It is not normal. And today I have some incredible guests that we're going to go deep into all things related to pelvic healing. And I have a new training for you. So type in the word queen to get the training and to get $400 off my Female Pelvic Freedom Program, which is open for enrollment. So the truth is, and when I think about this, I'm on the pulse of this because I've actually have 43,000 women sign up for my masterclass. And I've spoken to hundreds of women via chat because I do manage the chat. I like talking to everyone who has a question. And so I have a very unique pulse on what's happening in women's health, right? And what I'm seeing, which is really taking me aback, is I'm still seeing the same old, same old. You know what? Band-aids. Band-aids. Hysterectomies, right? 40% of the women who get hysterectomies have persistent pain after their surgery. 5% have worse pain. And what do? They're still doing hysterectomies with what? Without informed consent, which everyone knows that I'm huge on informed consent. If someone is going to do something to your body, you better know what it is, okay? And the doctor or whomever is doing it, it is their responsibility by law to let you know what are the risks and benefits of the surgery. So let's keep that in mind, right? Now, when they surveyed, you know, in 2014, there was a survey of women with pelvic pain, and the majority of them were what? Discriminated against and put in the corner. And this is what the women are saying. This is I'm speaking from the perspective of what the women are saying. And so these women, they have pain, and what was the offer? And we're talking about for female conditions. We're talking about for um, um, pain with intimacy. We're talking about sciatica pain. We're talking about low back pain. Any pain. What was it? The prescription? Opiates, painkillers, antidepressants. And this is the state of where we all find ourselves right now. But all is not lost because there's actually a solution for you. There's something that you can do to heal yourself and to put yourself first on your own list as the queen that you are. And I'm providing that for you. And I'm opening the pathway and I'm opening up the portal for those who desire to go with me in this healing journey for the next 3 months. Okay, so type in the word queen. Not only are you going to get the discount, but you're going to get a new free training that I just created, which is pretty fantastic. Okay, and I think that it's going to really open up your mind. So I have some guests today, and I'm going to bring them all on. And you guys are in for a treat. Type in your questions. Okay, we're going to be taking questions at the end once we. But I want to talk. I want to bring in Marita Sheeran first. She is a graduate of the Female Pelvic Freedom Program. There we go. Yeah, technology is working.
Hi,
Yeah.
Isa.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for being here and bringing your beautiful knowledge and bringing your words of wisdom for the women who sometimes find themselves in a hopeless situation. And I know that you are doing so fantastic with the program, and I want you to speak a little bit on that. And before you found the program, what was your life like, Marita? What was your life like before you found the Female Pelvic Freedom Program and you found, me?
I was dealing with incontinence. It wasn't just leaking. It was, sometimes I was standing in a puddle in the middle of a warehouse store. It was,
Mm.
um, last year we went to Yellowstone. 7 members of my family went on a 10-day road trip. And it was to Yellowstone, and it was a wonderful trip, but I couldn't do all of the fun activities in the water. And I wore a diaper, but that still did not help in the driving. It I was always limited and hampered and burdened by by the incontinence that I was experiencing, and had been experiencing probably for about 25 years.
Wow. And the thing is, did you think that it was like this was the way it was because you've had some medical things going on? Did you just feel like this kind of was a part of your life? Like, what did you think when all this was happening? What did the doctors tell you?
I, you know, I am over 70 years old, and only this year someone said to me, pelvic floor physical therapist. Nobody ever said that in all of my treatments. I went to urologists and did a number of different processes for leaking. But in 2017, I was diagnosed with a very aggressive, rare form of endometrial cancer. And I went through chemotherapy,
Hmm.
brachytherapy, and a total hysterectomy first. And I'm grateful for all of those things. I'm very, very grateful. But that worsened my condition. And, just, 45 years ago, my first two children were born. They were breech babies. I had a
Hmm.
lateral episiotomy. I had a tubal ligation. So nobody said pelvic floor physical therapist to me during all those years until this year. And when I found you, um, it was okay. Here's my mentor, is what I said to myself, because I had tried a number of things. I had tried Thermiva. I had tried these different processes with the urologist. I'd gotten a little app for doing Kegels. But now I know I should have been doing reverse Kegels or unkegels. So
Yes.
I didn't know that before. That's kind of where I was coming in. And then you kind of appeared on the internet somehow. I think as an answer to my dreams. And so I've made up a new acronym for ISA. And
Oh.
and here it is, Isa. It's like the I stands for invest. Invest in yourself, which is what I did when I saw your program. I said, I'm worth it. 25 years. I have a lot I want to do in my remaining years. So I for invest. Um, S for stay with the program, because you have so many incredible resources. You have like a lifetime of resources for me to use. I'm following, step by step, but there's a lot out there. And the A is advance to your dream, and that's where I'm
Oh, I'm
headed.
gonna
So
cry.
that's my newest anagram I made up for you,
I love it. That's the first time I'm hearing that. Advance for
because
your
I just made
dreams.
it up. I just made it up, but
Oh, I love it.
it does. I would say to other people, invest in yourself. If especially when some of us have more time right now, and
Yeah, that's true.
I'm using kind of this quarantine time to really improve in my facility. So I could talk a lot, but do you want to ask me whether
Yeah, I want
you
to ask. I mean, I don't. Was it hard to go through the material in the program? Because I mean, I know that you are like primo when it comes to the work. I mean, did you find the videos to be okay, the technology to be easy, that kind of thing? I'm sure they want to know.
I did. I have to say, there's so much out there. It's like, I know you've said, okay, let's pick a different Kegel for you. It's like going to the candy store. So there is like, and picking out what you need, but there's a lot. There's a lot. So I organized it. I did spend time organizing it so that I could follow it better. I have to say that in the very beginning, it was a little bit overwhelming, but so I kept on moving forward. And then because there's a new vocabulary, there's anatomy lessons, There's and with those things, then you can do the behaviors. You can I let go of some behaviors, some foods that were triggering my
Mm.
bladder, change my diet, and I added behaviors, especially the reverse Kegels, unkegels,
Mhm.
that I should have been doing when I had bought that app and was doing the Kegels.
Well, the thing is,
So
I think that the media just tells women that all they need is Kegels, and then we forget that what we actually need is a balance program, and that we
right.
need to know how to test ourselves. So we're not outsourcing our health anymore. So you test yourself. Was it that complicated to test yourself? I mean, what did you think about the testing? Because I'm a firm believer that you need to know what's going on in your body. You can't go to someone and have them tell you. You need to be able to tell them. How'd you find the testing?
Yeah, the testing was once I got the anatomy, and I did
Mhm.
listen to it more than once. Then because I think that's important, and because I do not have a physiological background, so I kind of had spent 70 years ignoring my pelvic area.
Yeah.
so so it was great to learn about that, and then the testing was empowering. And that's the other thing about your program is it's so empowering for individuals. I had done abdominal massages before, but I kind of just went to the clinic and said, okay, here's my abdomen, please do the abdominal massage. But now I do them myself. And
Mm.
so it's the same thing with testing, is that you've given me confidence to do that. And you do have caveats, if you're pressing on something and it's pulsing, let go, don't press there. So it's so I've kind of followed your steps, and the it's just been very empowering to do the testing myself. And then I have a sense of where I am, because tracking is so important too. So I have a sense of where I am, as to where I want to be.
Wow. And so how is your life now? I mean, how do you feel now? How do you feel about about like your future? I mean, you're 70, right? I mean, to me, it's like life begins at 70, man. I'm so excited for you right now. I really am. I mean, I'm excited for the majority of the
I'm
women who've already joined the
I'm
program.
72. So
Oh my
yeah,
God,
I think I think you've said you have people, you have women in the program who are in their 80s, so
96 is my
I'm not
oldest one.
the oldest.
96.
Wow. Wow. That's inspirational. Well, I, I figure what I have, like, a few decades left. So I want to make the most of it. I want to take more road trips once we can get back out doing that again with my family without all of the burden that I had going to Yellowstone. And also because things are connected, I had insomnia. So this is helping, um, my insomnia too. So I'm not getting up as much in the middle of the night. Um, and so my sleep is better, which improves my energy. So it's kind of fluid. One area of your life affects another. And so that's kind of what's happened with this program.
Wow, I am so excited for you.
I
And
am
I'm grateful
too.
that you
I'm so
come.
excited for
Yeah.
you, Lisa.
Oh yeah, everything. It's like, and your results are so incredible. And now that you're not getting up as much, you can trust your body more. I mean, all these things really matter. And for me, it's kind of like you prove to me over and over again what I know already. But the science hasn't caught up. Eventually, before I die, the science will catch up. And it's that these muscles actually don't age. They want us to believe that they age so they can keep us in diapers, $1 billion industry, or getting mesh surgeries or tension lifting surgeries. But the reality is that over and over again, and Marita, your experiences are the experiences of other women in the program, that women get better when they learn and they discover how to care for their sacred anatomy and their bladders. right? So what would be like, what would you tell the queens out there who are maybe on the fence about this? What would you tell them?
I would say I'd go back to my acronym. Invest in yourself is the
Mhm.
first part. And then stay with the program and then advance to your dream, because I had a dream, but and I thought, oh, Thermiva will answer it. Oh, something else will answer it. And they didn't, but this is. So, and that's the proof of the pudding. I would, yeah, I would encourage anyone to, I really am word of mouth. I'm telling a lot of other
Thank you.
people about your program, because it's because I was desperate before,
Mhm.
and I'm not
Mhm.
now. I'm making changes in my life, that
Yeah.
that are really making a huge difference in the quality of my life.
Wow. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and your wisdom and your acronym, which I'm so excited about. I hope you and my mom will steal that.
No, it's not copyrighted. It's yours.
Thank you. So beautiful and so lovely. It makes me want to cry. Because I understand, I mean, I've been talking to women for the past 10 days. One day I spent 10 hours on chat because I really wanted to understand the pulse of what was actually going on. And I just felt like there's such a collective wound right now, and this whole thing has brought it more to the surface, how women are marginalized by the medical establishment, especially in the United States, and how women right now need to step more into their power in order to be more in control of their everyday experience, right? So I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for sharing all your love with everyone, and just keep on going. Advance for your dreams. I want you to send me pictures when you take that road trip. Yeah,
I will. I will.
yeah,
Yeah, and I'll be wearing a bathing suit without a pad. I
yes.
hope.
That's liberating. Yeah, that's really liberating. Good for you. Good for you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Marita.
Thank you. Thank
Namaste.
you, Isa.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Namaste.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Marita. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. So there you hear it, right? Sometimes I feel that the most important thing is I'm sweating like a dog today. I don't know what's going on. I can't stop sweating. Um, One of the most important things is when you see one individual reflect back to you what is possible. Because without that reflection, what happens is that we stay completely in what? In in the same space. And we don't do anything different, and then a year goes by and that's our life. Right. But this is the opportunity. And I open this program up once a year, and this is it. It won't open again to 2021. So I'm inviting everyone to join, to type in the word queen, to get the discount and my new free training, no strings attached. Okay. Same page. So I want to bring in Luz. Luz is an A-player coach who's worked with me in my private practice on Madison Avenue. She's one of my original team people. She's working with me now. Let's bring Luz in. Hi, Luz.
Hi, Isa. Hi, guys. Hi, Queens.
Hi. Hi. So Luz is an A-player coach. As everybody knows, I have a coaching team. I do that because I want women, if they need more, to get more. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? I have a mentor. I don't understand how anybody makes it through life without a mentor or a coach. You know, Yeah, and she works in the pelvic community and is also very present in the Facebook community, which is one of the communities in the coaching program. We have a supportive community where you get six live calls with yours truly in a group setting, and then you get day-to-day community support in the Facebook group. So it's two communities, and I want to talk to you a little bit because you've been working with a lot of the women over the past couple of months, and I want you to tell me what are you seeing? What's happening out there? Because I'm sure that I'm not the only one that's actually seeing what's happening. So you're right there in the front lines too. So what are you seeing in the field of women's health right now?
What I see in the field of women's health, I see a lot of what you said, gimmicks and selling you outsourcing our healthcare, like you call it. But I see a lot of band-aids, and I see doctors providing women with solutions that have
Mhm.
other um, comorbidities or other have things attached to them that there's not necessarily informed consent once the women sign up for it. So you give the wheel of your life and your healthcare to someone else and essentially say, here, you fix this for me, you do this for me, without knowing where it is that they're taking you. And a lot of the times it's a really ugly place where you end up. But I want to say that there's hope out there, and we are empowering you to take charge of your life and take charge of your journey. Some of the illnesses, I guess I call them the biggest illnesses that come from this whole medical system, is the women not trusting themselves. We don't
Mhm.
trust ourselves because we were never in a position to allow our voices to be heard. You heard this Marita story. I was crying from the beginning of it. And a lot of her story resonates true with what I hear out there. And I know, Isa, you do too. What's happened in my own life with having children, and even before becoming a mother. Women's health is really a sad, we're in a sad state right now. If we
Yeah.
look just to the medical system, if we look just to the medical model, it's a very sad state where they don't want you to trust yourself. They don't want you to have the knowledge. I wrote a couple of things down of the
Yeah, go
diseases
ahead.
that I see.
Yeah, go ahead.
The not trusting, not knowing what you don't know. They don't want you to know so that you don't wake up to what you don't know. So they want you to stay in that ignorant state. They don't want you to come into the next visit and say, wait a minute, I heard about this. What about this? It
Mhm.
feels to me like my body's telling me this. So I think arm yourselves, ladies, with the power to become a client. Switch your mentality from the patient to the client, like Isa says. I see a lot of denial and a lot of negativity that's been
Mhm.
fed to us, and it's what we reflect back. And we are not empowered to create our own reality. And I think that that's the saddest part, is accepting what someone else has told us is going on with our bodies when we know different. If not, we wouldn't all be searching here if we didn't know there was something better. So I
Right,
just
it's
encourage
true.
you to trust
True.
yourselves.
Wow, so beautiful. I'm glad that you brought that up because I know that you are on the front lines and that you are out there in the trenches and that you have worked with, just like I have worked with thousands of women, so have
Hmm.
you. And I am so grateful to have you part of my team because our philosophies are very similar. So what happens when women, because you treat a lot of the women in our program and they work with you a lot. What happens when they come to you? What is the first thing that you see that's really holding them back? Because even though when they sign up, they still have this like, oh, they look for any reason not to trust you. Any reason. It's that hypervigilance, right?
Right. I think part of, and I always say this to them, my first coaching call is actually um, the one where I have to break that barrier of creating. The women come in and put are used to putting the coach in this pedestal, kind of like, and this doesn't work like the medical model, ladies. This We are
Yeah.
partners. We are partners and we are equals. I think the biggest barrier is that pedestal, quote unquote, that, and I'm putting them on a pedestal
Mhm.
because that's what you taught me. That's what you taught me. So it's allowing the women to take that power back. In that first session, when I give them permission, say, no, no, you take the reins, you drive the boat. Tell me what's going on. Here's how I'm here to coach. I'm not treating you, I'm coaching you. We are able to discover one another. We change lifestyle, we change behaviors, we change mindsets. And I will tell the women in here that by far my favorite calls are after the first call. when you take your power back and now you're on the pedestal and you're just picking my brain and saying, Luz, I found this out. And now I feel like if I change this, can you
Hmm.
coach me on how to get this better? And it's really like they're picking my brain and I'm just a resource. And it's challenging because I have to
Yeah.
stay on my toes. They get to the point where they know so much that I have to constantly, and I know because Isa studies all the time, guys, all the time. The woman does not stop searching. And I have to up my game with my research and stay current and stay with it because the women come in so empowered and knowing so much. And that's a beautiful thing because they're really using me the way they're meant to. They're driving the boat and they're investigative, inquisitive, anxious to get better, imaginative. I have so many that have changed the names of their Kegels. And it reminded me of what Marita said, being in a candy store. We're not selling the same
Yep.
Kegel to everyone.
No, we're
Everyone
not. The
has
good, yeah.
their
And the one,
different, their type.
yeah, and then the good thing, I want to bring this back to the program because I mean we want to really bring the program into light, is that all the information that you're being coached on is in the program. So I want to talk a little bit about the Female Pelvic Freedom Program because that's really where it's at, the collective program. And know that when you get on the group coaching call, it's like you're having your own coach help you through the process, right? And I think that that's really important. I think that the live support of this program, you can't beat it. If you actually had to pay for something like that, it would cost you over $3,000 in physical therapy because I figured this out already. So I want to open it up to some questions because we have a lot of questions to go through. So I'll read the question and then one of us will answer it. So let's try to put the questions up there. Okay, this is from Carol. I've always been told that my uterus is tipped backwards. Does that have anything to do with bladder leakage? I mean, you want to take this one, Lucy? You want me to take this one? You got this
I
one?
can take it, and we can kind of
Yeah, bring it up.
piggyback off
Yeah,
each other. I have my little pelvic model here. Wait, where is the camera?
there you go. There you go.
It does influence. It does influence. Um, there's no such thing as there's no everything affects one another. There's a reason. That's your divine anatomy. That's how you were made. I would say, is there a solution for this? Is there something you can do? Absolutely. There could be numerous reasons why your uterus is tipped backwards. You could have some ligamentous issues, some muscular imbalances that no one has addressed. And you could also have some tightness, which could be, again, either muscular or soft tissue structures like ligaments and tendons that hold up the uterus and the surrounding structures. I think it benefits because if it's tilted backwards, it's going to add undue pressure, and now it's putting the girdle,
Mm.
the pelvic girdle, what's holding up your divine anatomy. That basket is off balance, so you're going to have to strengthen or stretch in a different way. But Isa, what do you think too?
No, I
That's
think
just
the exact same thing. I think we want to keep the questions in. We got a lot, so we're going to go in, we're going to go out. I think everything is connected. I think the moment that you start to think that one of your organs is not connected to your pelvic floor and vice versa is the problem.
Mhm.
If there's a malalignment issue, we really typically address that in the Female Pelvic Freedom Program, where we'll give you some simple muscle energy techniques to do at home. We can't give that kind of thing. We can't really give a lot of medical advice here, but we're going to do the best that we can. So I think that the yes, it is influence and is due to undue pressure and the uterus pressing back on the nerves, the sacral nerves as well, right? Okay, David wants to go
Absolutely.
to. Okay, this is from Judy. I did a hysterectomy and they pushed the bladder up, but I can still feel it dropping in the vagina. Judy, I'll take this one. The truth is that when you have a hysterectomy, 40% of women who have hysterectomy will have persistent pain. The other percentage, over 60%, 70%, will have either vaginal prolapse or bladder prolapse or rectal prolapse. And this is due to the fact that the tissues are really have been compromised. So one of the things that all women with hysterectomy, absolutely 100% without even any hesitation, must be on a very well curated self-care program that involves Kegels, reverse Kegels, scar therapy, and all that we cover in the Female Pelvic Alchemy program. But yes, typically a woman with a hysterectomy would definitely also have a pelvic organ prolapse, but the doctor doesn't give you self-care techniques, and
Mhm.
if he does, he's only telling you could do go do a bunch of Kegels, right? Luz, what do you think?
I agree. I think, again, we are not changing, we're putting a band aid and not providing you with a lifestyle change. I don't know the exact reason of the hysterectomy. They do them for a number of reasons. To me, the most ridiculous one is when there's pelvic organ prolapse without the proper training. There's going to be other organs that are going to prolapse because you're still you haven't changed the behaviors or the
Mhm.
mindset or essentially um, the attitudes and behaviors that have led to that condition. So
Yep.
without that, you're going to have the repeat.
Right. And one thing that when we notice this trend about behavior really influencing prolapses and leaking, what I did was I put module 2. It's all about what I call stopping destructive forces, because unless you're aware of what's causing your pressure, what's causing your leaking, and you don't make these changes, then you're going to be doing everything right, but your behavior, your foundation is weak, your foundation is poor. So in this program, the one thing that I always recommend and in your life right now is pay attention to what it is that it's bringing you the pressure, the issues, and then you have to modify. Because so many times what women do is that we swallow our tears, we dim our light, and we don't pay attention to the messages of our bodies, and we squash down our intuition, which is why we do what we do. We land in very bad situations with our public health and with our health in general. So this program is all about reconnecting to your goddess temple. I'm a big believer in that. So let's go to the next question. This is from Adrian. I was told that I needed a mesh for incompetence, or maybe it could be incontinence at 22. I could just go through with it. You're 22 years old. Hmm.
Yeah, that.
I mean, I got a big problem with this.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, Tina says don't do the mesh. Thank you, Tina, for posting that. Listen, ladies, here's the truth that mommy medicine and daddy government and big pharma, okay, because I'm going to go crazy, and big pharma, right? They don't want you to know the truth. They want you to put yourself in a situation where at the age of 22, you get a mesh surgery. What happens for the rest of your life? Why would you undergo any kind of surgical procedure for something that even the NIH and the American Urological Society and even the MAA says that can be healed naturally, organically with lifestyle medicine? The thing is that we don't know what to do. And that's when we need a guide. That's when we need mentorship. That's when we need a program like mine. That's when you need a coach. So, Adrian, instead of doing that, go to the link here and go sign up for the program. That's my advice. I mean, I got to call it the way I
That's just,
call it.
yeah, I agree 100%. I can't.
Mm-mm. I just don't like to see women undergo surgeries at such a young age, because then
No,
I've seen it destroy women.
absolutely.
I've seen it. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Sometimes I know the questions and sometimes I don't. Which are best? Pumpkin seeds or watermelon seeds for overactive bladder? Or can you recommend something else? Luce, you want to take this one? And we don't need to address the pumpkin seeds. Just recommend one thing for
Oh,
one or two things. Yeah.
so for the bladder, I really like tracking. I really like tracking because it's your own body. There's no one gimmicky solution. Again, for you, you can go to there's some resources, perfect resources for bladder health as far as the nutrition of it. However, I would track when you're having symptoms and what you've eaten that day. Track and do a simple bladder diary and see
Hmm.
how it's influencing your behaviors and what your bladder feels like when you do certain things. I've had bladder issues myself. I've had them settled with Isa's program, so I know it works. But yes, it includes a lot of just paying attention. You don't know what you don't know unless you start waking up and paying attention. And one of the best
Hmm.
ways to pay attention is to go ahead and jot down how much water you're taking. It's a simple activity you could do. There's plenty of support in Isa's program, there's a whole module dedicated on the bladder alone, which is I'm a huge fan of it. But yes, I would say track and see how you feel and see what foods you can eliminate or you can kind of attach to the symptoms that you're having.
Yeah. And I think that sometimes, I love that you said tracking because for me, a picture paints a thousand words. And one of the things that's in the program that I think is fantastic, I'm a scientist at heart. I will always be a scientist. But I also believe in magic. And one of the things that is in the program that I think is really important is I've been talking for 2 weeks straight. So is my female pelvic tracker because that is an app that's built into the program that allows you to get feedback in real time. Because sometimes if you don't track it, if you don't see it, you don't believe it. Because we are
You don't
so
believe it.
catastrophic in our thoughts, you know what I mean? We are so negative that even if we're making an improvement, we may not acknowledge it. Why? Because we've been beaten down by the system. And we've been led to believe that we don't have the power within ourselves to heal this very dynamic and important aspect of ourselves. So, what I find with bladder issues is that yes, you have to track, you have to pay attention, but a lot of women don't drink water. And I think that that's the number one thing that you got to pay attention to. Okay, we have another question here. Okay, pelvic problems with multiple sclerosis. Does this um, also benefit it? Yeah, when you have multiple sclerosis, one of the things that you have to do is you have to be very diligent and very proactive in strengthening
Mhm.
and your pelvic floor muscles because this is a neurological issue. And many times women with multiple sclerosis, what happens is that they have leaking issues at the end, uncontrollable leaking issues, and end up in diapers. And I'm just telling you the truth because a lot of individuals don't know this. And in my program there's a lot of women with multiple sclerosis, but you need to have that more power, don't you think, Luz? You really need to have
I agree.
it's like a
I agree.
lifetime program. It's a lifetime.
I agree.
Yeah, it's lifetime
I
work. Go ahead.
I agree. I couldn't agree more because I think a lot of what you will experience, you can affect change just by your behavior, your lifestyle changes, and just learning to do better. Using the muscles. We're teaching you how to use your muscles and know your divine anatomy. What a perfect time to know that, especially as your body with multiple sclerosis or Parkinson's disease and a lot of other the neurological conditions, your muscle tissue is changing. So how important, much more important is
Mhm.
it for you to be able to self-assess and know which muscles are weak, which are strong. How do I target individual muscles that I'm having issues with? I think for you especially, the self-tracking and assessment is where you're going to find a lot of your power back.
So true, so true. So Luz, what do you want to tell all the women who are here before you say goodbye? What do you want to tell the queens? What's your words of wisdom for them?
I honestly, I really want to tell you that if there's a reason why you're here in this particular chat, following this particular amazing human being, which I can tell you I've worked with and known for over 10 years. Again, I've had my own issues, and she's changed my life in more ways than she will take credit for. But I will tell you that taking power back for yourself, taking the time to be honest with yourself and find out the most intimate things about yourself, in this such an intimate program, right? Who else should know you better than yourself? Take that leap. Allow yourself the healing, the knowledge that you can pass on to sisters, friends, and um, your mothers,
Mm.
daughters. It's so amazing to be in this time, day and age, and be able to know yourself in this way and have the power to heal yourself, to take your life back and create another reality. That's what this is.
Wow. Thank you, Luz. That's really beautiful. I'm sure that you've inspired a lot of women to take action to heal themselves today. Thank you for being here. I'm going to answer a couple of more questions and then we're going to close it out because I think we've been
Thank you
going
so
for an
much.
hour. Okay. Well, I'm going to keep going and then I'm going to do like fire hot seats. Like they know I'm going to go crazy. So, Luz, thank you. All my
Thank you,
gratitude to you.
Isa. All the best,
Namaste.
guys.
Thank
Bye.
you. Let me go through these. You want to put them up? Okay, guys. This is what it feels like to be in a room with me and with my coaches. And what it feels like, what I'm going to do right now is exactly what I do in my life coaching calls in the Female Pelvic Alchemy program. Yeah, and plus I can say more because this is a public forum. So in the life coaching in the program, we make recommendations. We tell you what kind of seeds to take. We tell you which lubricants are working, not some stuff. We tell you exactly what to use for vaginal dryness. So because it's a public forum, I can't always make those kind of recommendations, but I do the best that I can. So just know that in the life group coaching, that's exactly what we do. We go deep into all these questions to help you. And I think here's a question from Betty. I've had two bladder suspensions and Botox about 5 months ago and still wearing diapers. It has not helped me. I'm still taking medications for the incontinence. Yes. You know why? Because when you do these bladder suspensions and these other different types of surgeries, right, you have a new pelvic floor. The surgery is not the band-aid. The surgery is not the cure. They want you to think it's that, but what happens is the surgery compromises you. So now you have a new body, and you have to figure out how to deal with your new body. Because unless you know how to assess yourself and figure out what to do, and by the way, Betty, thank you for putting this up because it's very honest, and I really appreciate it when I see women doing this on Facebook because it's important to understand that sometimes you'll do these things and it's not the magical pill. Why? Because we're not looking at the foundational principles of the pelvic floor. We're not looking at our bodies and we're not taking ownership of our health. So I'm feel really bad when I see these kind of things. I feel like crying because now what we have to do is we have to begin again. All is not lost, even if you had a surgery, right? It may be more difficult as you get to know your new body, but it's not lost. Hope is never lost, right? It's only lost when you decide that it's lost. It's only lost when you decide I don't want to do anything to stop outsourcing my health so that somebody is not one over me, right? Because honestly, this has to end, and the only one that can end it is you, not me, you. Right, and this is how I can meet you halfway. I meet you halfway with my special programs. I meet you halfway with my discount, $400, and type in the word queen or go into the link and go directly and sign up. Enrollment will close in um it closes on yeah, it closes in 48 hours and then I close it for 2021. So this is an opportunity for you. But yes, Betty, I recommend that you go and you start to understand your anatomy and start to know how to care for it on a more organic and holistic level. Okay? This is from Daniela. Does the program help with vaginal atrophy? Hi, Daniela. Thank you so much for putting that. What I believe happens with vaginal atrophy, I mean, we all think that vaginal atrophy happens because what? We're just shriveling up when we're aging and we should be put in the corner and no one should like pay attention to us because that's the way it is. You get old, you shrivel up. But sometimes vaginal atrophy is due because the muscles are too tight and there's a lack of circulation in the pelvis and there's a lack of exercise for the pelvis. In order to heal vaginal atrophy, you may have to do many different things, right? Natural things, estrogen if you want, but at the end of the day, you need to increase microcirculation to the tissue. You need to make the muscles more flexible. You need to make them more fluid, and then you want to get more juicier down there. And the way to get juicier is to really understand how to massage, how to do a Kegel, how to do a reverse Kegel, how to do these little different things for your body and your vagina that bring you more. They bring you more to an ageless pelvic floor because I believe that once you start to work the pelvic floor is ageless and you start to feel less atrophy, which I think is something that is, common among older women. So over here, hi Carol, thank you for oh I signed up for the program today. Oh, I'm feeling encouraged. The program is half price at the moment, and you do. Oh, thank you. You do offer a money back guarantee. There's no reason not to take the leap. If your program helps me, it will be life changing. And I like that it's in a group of women all starting the program together as well. Feel supportive. Wow. Carol, thank you so much for putting, oh, it makes me want to cry. I'm just emotional today. I'm feeling everything. I've been going at this for 10 days, straight, and I do this, and 43,000 women sign up to watch my masterclass, and it gives me a lot of honor and a lot of respect for all women, because now we're what? We're waking up. We're not settling for the same old anymore. We're saying, you know what? I matter. I'm next. I count. I won't put up with this bull crap anymore, right? It's half price. Yes. Yeah, through Mondays, half price, and then it goes back to the original price. I did this because I knew them more, especially when Luz was talking to me about what was going out there, and she was saying a lot of women are hurting. We need to do something. I wasn't going to do this again because it's a lot. It's a big 3 month. By the way, the program goes for 3 months, right? Because women need time to heal. I don't like to do a quick program where you come in, you get no support, and it's just a bunch of YouTube videos. And you get lifetime access. So I take you through the program personally for 3 months, and then you get lifetime access, and you continue to do the work. You continue to have the information as you progress and change. And one of the reasons that we decided to do half price, because I know that women right now have been really hit hard, especially nurses. As losing their jobs, teachers losing their jobs. My friend owns a nail salon, hair salon. She can't even make her rent. I mean, things are tough out there for women right now, and the unemployment is so high. And I wanted to make this as affordable as possible to bring this information into the hands of women who need it right now, who are ready to take back control of their queendom. This is from Joanne. I had a hysterectomy last September and was told after I had uterine cancer, had a nodule with a blood to it. Can you just put it over here? I have four chemos and 25 radiation. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. But I think that one of the things that women with uterine cancer, women with bladder cancer, women with ovarian cancer, one of the things that, and I have a lot of women in my program with cancer because Chris Carr supports my program. Chris Carr understands the value of this program for women with cancer, because what happens is once women undergo these particular kind of pers- uh, medical interventions, which are very necessary. I'm not saying they're not necessary. Like Marita, she had the brachial um, therapy, she had the hysterectomy. The pelvic floor muscles need to be taken care of. They need more help. They need to be loved. They need to be worked on, because these kind of procedures, these kind of interventions do affect our lady parts very, very significantly. And so there's hope here with the Female Pelvic Freedom Program, 6 live group coaching calls, supportive community on Facebook. You don't have to join it if you don't want to. Half people don't join the Facebook group, but there we answer daily questions. And there's the coaching community, which is a community that we all get together, very similar to this. It's exactly what it's going to be. You're going to put a bunch of questions. I'm going to answer them. You bring a notebook to the coaching calls, because I give a lot of healing recipes, like beautiful things, golden nuggets, I call them. And sometimes I'll make a recommendation on different kinds of things that you can use, that I trust and tried myself. By the way, I do not recommend anything that I haven't bought. I don't recommend a summit that I haven't purchased. I don't recommend anything, a supplement, anything, unless I've tried it personally. This is where I come from. I come from a deep place of integrity, because there's almost in this online market, you got to be careful. And trust me, I get hit up every other week. Hey, promote my program. Hey, blah, 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 blah. And I say no. And there's a whole vetting process. And I make sure that when you know that I recommend something to you, and my team and my coaches recommend something to you, that we've tried it, we believe in it, and we know it will cause no harm. Do no harm. That is the oath that we've all taken. But somehow, along the way, and it makes me want to cry, ah, yeah, these doctors have lost their way. And it's really just a bunch of bullcrap. And I think that when all this happened, and I feel like it's an awakening, I feel like finally the women are realizing that they've been treaded on, that they haven't been told the truth, that they've been given half the picture, that we've been held down into believing that we can't even control our own anatomy. They're not going to come to save you. You got to save yourself. And this is the opportunity. This is the path. I've seen it with over 14,000 women. And when you join me on this extraordinary journey with my entire team, who's nothing but love, thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Karina. Thank you, David. Thank you, Luz. Thank you, Serena. Thank you, Jessica. I mean, there's so many people behind the scene here to make this mission worthy. How and where do I go to sign up? Okay, Joan, heal your pelvis now. You can go right there and sign up. I think my team is putting the link in the thing. This is from Candace. How do I stop blood in my urine? It happens during my period. No, Candace, that's the kind of question I don't know. Sometimes I know everything, but blood is never good. Sometimes if it happens during your cycle, maybe you're having some sort of bacteria, maybe you're having some straining that's going on, right? So one of the things that I recommend is that women don't strain with defecation or urination because it does cause micro trauma to the pelvic floor, and sometimes it can cause bleeding. So that's one of the things in my program in module 2. We stop that right away. And that's the hardest thing to do. Oh my God. Well, we're so used to pushing, blah, blah, blah. That in order to come back to softness and to come back to this receptivity of being a queen, it's hard. Sometimes the hardest things are the things that you need to change. And that's why this program is 3 months long, because I know that to create a new habit takes 21 days. And then you get lifetime access. So then you have the program forever. And I wanted to do the lifetime access because I didn't want to have this program where you came in and maybe something came up and then you couldn't do it and then it's gone. I don't want to do that. I used to have limited access. It didn't feel right to me. So now it's all lifetime access because that's the way I'm doing it now. And that because you deserve that. You deserve to have this information all the time, all the time, at your fingertips so that you can heal yourself. So true. Thank you, Sarah. So true. Thank you for the words of encouragement. This is from Francis. I have spinal stenosis that affects sciatica nerve. I was told that would affect my bladder and bowel control, and I can tell that it's getting worse. Can your program help? I'm very low income, so if I can't sign up, is there anything you can suggest? Yeah, with spinal stenosis, first of all, the program is at 50% off, so I recommend that you take advantage of that. Okay, this yeah, and you can email my team support at pelvicpainrelief.com. Put the can you put it underneath her thing or just put it in there? Just email my team support at pelvicpainrelief.com and then we'll see what we can do for that. But I think with spinal stenosis, what happens is when you have sciatica, the nerves to the sciatica, the nerves to the pelvis, the nerves of the spine are interconnected or very close by and have a fascial connection with the nerves that innervate the bladder, the bowel, the clitoris, right? The vaginal lips. So sometimes if there's a pelvic floor issue, you get back pain. 96% of women with back pain, which is almost all of them, have pelvic floor dysfunction. Because what came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know, right? The thing is that we have to remember that we're not what? That we're not microscopic And when we don't do that, when we start to continuously see our bodies in these compartments, here's my bladder, here's my back, here's my hip, here's my knee, right? Here's my neck. And we don't combine it. And what my program does, it allows you to have this alignment within yourself. And it allows you to do what? Be like connected. the connected temple. One thing that I did, which I didn't do, I just added this to the program. I added a module, two modules. Okay, one, the connected temple, because a lot of women's Kegels maybe plateau, but they plateau because we're not looking outside to see what else we can do to make ourselves dynamic, beautiful, and strong. Right? So I created this thing called the connected temple, and the reason I added that module, which is module A, and by the way, it's my favorite module because I am a body worker, right? This module allows you to understand what else can I do to my body so that I am more in alignment and anchored and grounded in my pelvis. So you learn things that I over the years have discovered by treating over 14,000 women what actually works. Like I take the guessing game out of this, right? I'm not going to be like holding back because I want you to what? I don't hold back. When I give my program, and that's why it's as complete as it is, I give it to you because I trust that everything in there is going to allow you to transform your life. And my community is very transformative. And that community is something that I hold dear to my heart. But I want you to have all the information because the body changes. And you have to be able to adapt and assess and change. Right? And sometimes you have a relaxed vagina, then it becomes a tense vagina, then a tense vagina becomes a relaxed vagina. You got to know what to do. If you don't know what to do, then you're going to go to mommy medical system and daddy government, and you're going to say, save me. And they're not. This is from Betty. You are such caring, a loving, caring, and understanding person. I'm so glad I found you. I'm glad. This is my life's mission, Betty. Thank you so much for putting that. But I take this very seriously because it wasn't so long ago that I was in the same boat as many of the women here right now. It wasn't so long ago that I suffered in pain, in shame, and in silence. And I was a physical therapist, and I didn't want to tell anybody about my problems because I was really embarrassed. I felt like I really should have known how to care for myself, and I didn't know. So there was a big level of shame, and I'm not the only one that feels this shame. So many of us feel this shame, right? So many of us become disconnected because the only way that we can deal with the problem is to disconnect, to squash it down, to put it in the corner, to numb it down, right? But that's not doing us any good. That's not doing any good for your legacy, for your kids, your grandchildren, for your partner, right? We need to be there fully 100%. We need to know how to care for ourselves. And this is a program that's proven with 14,000 women. This is not a gimmicky thing. Somebody took a weekend course and say, hey, let me put up an online program. Rectoseal, how to heal. With the Rectoseal, this is from Nidixa. Thank you for putting that. Rectoseal. To heal a Rectoseal, you really have to make sure that the pelvic floor muscle is not tight. The problem that I find with women with prolapse, erectocele is a rectal prolapse, cystocele is a bladder prolapse, uterine prolapse, intestinal prolapse, enterocele. What I find with women with prolapse, and this is the biggest thing that I find that is the biggest problem, why women fall underneath the knife over and over again, is that women with rectoceles are led to believe that they're big, huge, and weak in their pelvic floors. And I find quite the opposite. By the way, when you type in queen, I'm going to have a special training for you. No strings attached. You can watch tonight, right? That's going to allow you to heal the rectocele. So please go and check that out. Okay, check that out. And if you love it, then use the information. Okay, it's there for free because I did the master class, but I felt like more women needed a little bit more. So then I did this free training as well. This from Renee. Girl, I'm a PT too, and I know what you're talking about. Do no harm. Beautiful. I take care of my family I take care of my patients as they were my own family. God bless you. It's just emotional too. I'm so happy. I love when I see PTs. I have professional programs too. My mission is to get my programs into medical schools, right? So that women can get that right away. So I have professional programs too. So if you want to sign up and learn how to do pelvic health, definitely check that out. My team can put that up. Put that link up for that, her, please. Looking for questions. This is from Danny. Yes, I'm trying to tell my doctor this, but he says my opinion doesn't matter. Whoa. Because he has the medical degree, but this time it's common sense. Whoa. Danny, I'm glad that you put that up because I'm going to tell you one thing. This is why the system fails us. Because the system tells us, and this is one of the reasons why sometimes we fail ourselves. The system tells us that we're not smart enough to know what's going on with our body, that we're not intuitive enough to know what our bodies need, that we don't have the power and we need to outsource our power to somebody who's going to make it all go away. But the truth is, you do have the power. You have the power to heal yourself. You have the power to communicate with a doctor who may have 10 degrees, and your opinion and your voice and what you feel matters. It will always matter. It doesn't, and when you give that power up, it's the moment that you put yourself last again. And for me, I don't want women to put themselves last. Okay. Type in the word queen so that I could give you the free training and the $400 discount for my program. Okay. Esperanza neta. I have a chronicle in my urethra. Will this be affected when I do my label? Okay, I don't know what that means, but you have to fill in that when you fill in the whole thing. Carnicles sometimes in the urethra, sometimes due to low estrogen, sometimes due to pelvic floor tightness, right? Something that definitely needs to be addressed by a doctor. And then if there's a pelvic floor condition, then definitely you have to know how to care for your pelvic floor, right? So the program is on sale for $400 off. 6 group life coaching calls. You get the female pelvic tracker, Primo. It's the built-in app. You also get a very supportive and loving community of women, and where me and my coaches, Luz, will always in there on a daily basis answering questions. Okay. The best way to heal a slight anterior prolapse that causes occasional leaks but no pain. So the best way to heal an anterior prolapse is to do the pelvic floor work. I mean, you have to know what to do. You have to know what to do. Different Kegels. Now, a slight anterior prolapse could be a low grade, like a 1 degree grade. So you want to make sure that you do the preventative care. So Kegels are important. Reverse Kegels are important. Core is very important. The way you sit, if you're doing any impact exercises, you may have to modify. You really got to track what is happening and what's giving you the symptoms. But the beginning is knowing what to do, what exercises to do, and that's what the Female Pelvic Freedom Program does. It gives you the path to become your own guru, the guru that's always lived inside you, and to awaken you, right? And that's one of the most important things that we can do for ourselves is that we can be, yeah, become the heroine of your own story, right? Knowing what to do for yourself, knowing how to care for yourself, and knowing how to become a client and not a consumer in the medical industry. I want to thank everyone for being here. When you type in the word queen, you're going to get a message in Messenger, but also know, please, that you can go directly to the link. I think my team is putting, can you put the link up here, healyourpelvisnow.com? Okay. And you can get the program before I'm closing enrollment on the 29th because the kickoff call is July 1st. I like to start right away, right? I like to start right away. And so that's a kickoff call, it's a rah-rah call. It's not the official coaching call, but it's something that is where I open the path and I show you like little tips and tricks on how to heal better and faster. So that's what we're gonna do. Everything is recorded, so don't worry if you miss it. A lot of people, oh, I can't. I'm busy. I'm on vacation. Who? It doesn't matter. You gotta record it. You have it forever. You're gonna have it to heal forever, and that's what really matters. I'm gonna go back to what Marita says. This is my new inspiration for the word Isa. I invest in yourself. Trust yourself. Believe in yourself, and kick fear right out the door. Cause fear has no place here. No siree. S is stick with the program. It is really easy to stick with the program when you have support and mentorship from me and my team. We don't allow people not to achieve their goals. You stick with the program, you get the motivation, and you get the love that you need and the support that you need. So sticking with the program is not as complex. A lot of women, oh my God, it's so complex. No, it's not complex. Okay? In a little as 10 minutes a day, you can get results, right? The more you put in, the more you get in. Energy in equal energy out. Always going to be the case, right? And then the S is for advance your dreams, right? For the A is to advance your dreams. This is my favorite one because imagine cooking a meal without worrying about your prolapse. Imagine going swimming and wearing a bathing suit without worrying and having to wear a diaper like Marita said. Imagine making love anytime you want without pain, right? Imagine that. Imagine, being able to be feel confident and sexy again and really feel like you got this, like you finally understand what you need to do to bring your body into full queendom state, right? And reclaiming your pelvic power is much easier than you could think, right? Especially when you have the the support and you have a program that's actually proven with 14,000 women. And I went in there yesterday and I'm making the program better because I'm going to give you a specific track, which is beautiful, right? And a track, and you're going to take a quiz, and the quiz is going to tell you your results, and then you're going to go into a track. And I did a blueprint, right? It's taking me a long time to do that. So I think that that's even going to make the healing better and easier and more dynamic. So I am so excited that you are here today. I'm so excited that you put your trust. I hope you found some value in the information that Marita gave, that me and Luz answered some, mostly all the questions here, which is really good. So I want to thank everyone. Remember, enrollment closes um in 48 hours. I'm just loopy by now. And thank you for putting your trust in me. Thank you for being part of my community. I love you, ladies. I love you, queens, with all my heart and all my soul. And all I want for you is for you to live the life that you deserve to have, free, completely free. You know? Thank you guys. I'll see you next week. I'll be back here next week with my Pelvic Power Hour show.